You can tell almost everything about a man's true feelings for you in the first 10 seconds of how he greets you. It's not the words, it's the energy, the effort, and the emotion behind it. If he greets you in a way that lights up the room, it's because he's already lit up inside about you. And today, I'm going to show you the 6 powerful signs hidden inside his greeting that reveal he's not just interested, he's absolutely crazy about you. You ever notice how the eyes tell on us before anything else does? Before the words, before the gestures, before the smile even shows up, the eyes already gave the truth away. When a man is truly crazy about you, when he's thinking about you long before you even walk into the room, the very first place he goes when you show up is your eyes. He locks in. And it's not an accident. It's not one of those random glances. It's that immediate, almost instinctive connection that says, out of everything else happening here, I see you. And now think about this you. We all make eye contact with people every single day. You walk down the street, you glance at strangers. You check in with a friend, you make eye contact. But when it's someone who has feelings that run deeper, someone who's emotionally invested, there's a difference in how it feels. That difference is what you want to pay attention to, because it's not just a look, it's a pause, it's a held moment. It's a silent way of saying, you're the reason I just lit up inside. And let me tell you, you don't have to guess when it happens. You feel it. You know that moment when you walk in and his eyes find you immediately. It's like the whole room disappears for him. Even if there are 10 other conversations going on, even if people are moving around laughing, talking, he doesn't scan the room. He doesn't take a second. He goes right to you. That is not by accident. That is priority. Now, why does this matter? Because how someone greets you is a reflection of where you stand in their heart. A man who is lukewarm, who isn't invested, he might greet you, sure, but his eyes wander, his attention scatters. It's polite, it's friendly, but it doesn't carry weight. A man who is truly crazy about you, his eyes tell you before his mouth even opens. They're focused, they're steady, and they hold on just a little longer than normal. And that little longer. That's where the truth is. Some of you may be wondering, well, what if he's just naturally a good eye contact person? Fair point. But you'll notice a difference in the quality of the look. With everyone else, it's quick, it's transactional. With you, it's like he's searching. Like he's pulling in details to keep with him later. Because the greeting isn't just about this moment. It's about carrying you with him after the moment ends. And here's the deeper truth. That kind of eye contact, it's not rehearsed. It's not a tactic. You can't fake that level of attention. When he's crazy about you, his eyes betray him. They soften. They brighten. They tell you everything he may not even be ready to say out loud. You'll notice it in the way his brows lift, in the slight delay before he looks away, in how his smile tends to follow right after it. His eyes start the conversation long before his words catch up. So if you've ever doubted whether his greeting is just routine or whether it actually carries meaning, pay attention to this first signal. The eyes don't lie. They are windows, yes, but they are also spotlights. And when his spotlight lands on you the second you enter, you've already got your answer. Because here's the truth. A man who's crazy about you doesn't greet you with hesitation. He greets you with recognition. The next thing I want you to notice is the smile. And I'm not talking about just any smile. I'm talking about the kind of smile that shows up before the words ever get there. You know the one. The kind of smile that almost sneaks up on him, like he couldn't even stop it if he wanted to. That's the smile of a man who's genuinely excited to see you. That's not manners. That's not routine. That's emotion leaking out faster than he can control it. See, most people smile as a reaction. Somebody cracks a joke, we smile. Somebody greets us politely, we return the smile. It's learned, it's expected. But when he's crazy about you, it's different. His smile doesn't wait for a reason. You are the reason. You walked in, you caught his eye, and before he can even put a thought together, there it is. That involuntary lift in his face, that spark in his expression, that warmth he can't hold back. And here's what makes it powerful. You don't even have to be doing anything. You don't have to be dressed up. You don't have to be performing. You don't have to be anyone but yourself. The smile shows up because you showed up. And that's how you know it's real. It's effortless. It's instinctive. He didn't have to think about it. His body told on him. Think about the times you've really cared about someone, how your own smile comes out the second they walk in. It's almost embarrassing sometimes because you catch yourself grinning without even realizing it. That's how you know it's genuine. That's how you know it's not practiced. A man who's crazy about you, he's not waiting until he shakes your hand, or until he hugs you, or until he says hello. His smile gets there first. His emotions outrun his timing. And listen, this is where people mess up. They assume all smiles are the same. They're not. A polite smile is quick, shallow, it disappears almost as fast as it came. A genuine smile, the kind you're looking for, lingers. It pulls his whole face into it. His cheeks, his eyes, even his posture shifts. It's like his whole body joins in on the greeting. That's how you know he's not just happy you're there, he's happier because you're there. Here's another thing, pay attention to how his smile compares when he greets other people. That's the giveaway. Because sure, he may be friendly, he may smile at everyone, but the one he gives you, it'll be fuller, it'll be warmer, it'll last longer. And the difference may seem subtle to others, but you'll feel it. Because a smile like that has weight, it has direction, it's aimed. And when it's aimed at you, you don't have to question what it means. What makes this even more important is that the smile communicates something words can't. Words can be faked. Words can be rehearsed, but a smile that arrives before the thought does, that's heart, not habit. That's his inner world breaking through the surface. And when you catch it, when you recognize that his first instinct is to light up at the sight of you, you've uncovered one of the purest signals of how he really feels. So the next time you're wondering where you stand, don't just listen to what he says. Watch for what happens in those first 2 seconds. Does his smile beat his words to the finish line? Because if it does, then you're not just someone he knows, you're someone he can't help but be glad to see. Because a man who's crazy about you doesn't just greet you with a smile. He greets you with the kind of smile that says you're already his favorite part of the day. One of the easiest ways to read a man is not through his words, but through his body. Because the body doesn't lie. You can rehearse what you're going to say. You can think about how to phrase things. But the way your body moves is instinctive. And when a man greets you, pay close attention to which direction his body leans. That one small movement tells you everything about his interest, his comfort, and his level of attraction. If he's leaning in, even slightly, that's his subconscious telling on him. That's his body saying, I want to be closer to you. He's drawn in, pulled toward you, like there's a magnet working underneath the surface. It might be subtle. Maybe his shoulder angles toward you. Maybe his torso shifts. Maybe he steps half a foot closer without even realizing it. But make no mistake, that leaning in is one of the strongest nonverbal signals he can send. Now, contrast that with a man who keeps his distance. His feet point away, his body angles outward, he leans back. That's not someone who's crazy about you. That's someone who's neutral, polite, maybe even hesitant. And you know the difference. Because when a man's interest is genuine, his body betrays him. He forgets about personal space. He forgets about being casual. He can't help but want to close the gap. And this doesn't mean he has to physically touch you. Sometimes it's not even about contact. It's about direction. Which way does he tilt when you show up? If his body is oriented toward you, if his energy is leaning, and even when his words are still catching up, you've already got your answer. That lean is a silent admission of attraction. Think about it. When we're around people we don't want to be with, our bodies naturally try